y'all. How weird do I look without brows on? You guessed it, Eyebrows 101, right here, right now. I have another brow video, but that one has kind of low quality, and I'm using completely different products than I was. I am using the same brush though. I just cannot find a brush quite like this. I don't know the brand. I don't even remember where I got it. It says brow. That's all I know. But it's just stiff enough, just long enough, and just all that goodness in one. And I have bought probably, I'd say maybe 10 angle brushes since purchasing this bad boy, because I'm like, this is a cheap little, you know, whatever. There's got to be something better. But there's not. There's really not. I just really like it. So let's just get into the video. I used to use a powder, a wax, a pencil, and a gel, and a brow gel to set. Now I'm using one thing, Anastasia Dip Brow. This stuff is like freaking the best thing since sliced bread. I freaking love this stuff. A lot of people don't like it because they feel like it's too strong for them, but for me, because I ain't got nothing there, it's perfect. So if you guys have no brows, which there are a lot of brow tutorials out there, but there aren't very many where the girls just don't really have eyebrows. Like, I watch brow tutorials and I see them like, oh, this is my brow routine and this is how I shape my brows and this is how I do this, but their eyebrows are like perfect. Like, half of them look like they don't even need filled in, but mine obviously do, because I look like a freaking alien. Do you see now why I fill my brows in when I do my no makeup videos? Because this right here. Let's move on. So there are a couple of products I use. Like I said, I do use the Dip Brow. Sometimes when my brows are getting unruly or I just haven't trimmed them in a while, I will use the Benefit Gimme Brow. I use Benefit Boing to carve my brows out, and I bought this Anastasia pencil seriously just for the brush. Like, I'm not even lying. I bought it for the brush because I don't even use it. I really like the brush. Really like the brush. So let's just get started. If you're somebody that has absolutely no clue how to fill your brows, if you already have brows and you want to know how to shape them, or like myself, if you don't have any brows and you want to know how to shape them, that's what we're going to do. So I am just going to take this brush here. When shaping your brows, what you want to do is shape your eyebrows to your face. So you're framing your brows to your face. And there is a certain method for this, and I'm about to show you that right now. If you're somebody who has your eyes are really close together, or you have a really narrow nose, you're going to want to start the beginning of your brow on the outside of your nose. I know a lot of people now say to go from the innard, but if your eyes are super close together and you go from the inside of your nose, that's just gonna pull your eyes even closer together, and you're just gonna look weird. Okay, I'm just gonna put it out there. You're gonna look weird. If you're somebody that has a super narrow nose, if you start here, it's going to make your nose even more long. It's going to make it look even more elongated and more narrow. So, narrow nose, close together eyes, start on the outside. If you have a normal face or a wide set nose, or your eyes are farther apart, or your eyes aren't particularly too far apart like mine, or your nose isn't particularly too wide like mine, then you can start right at the edge of the nostril. So what you want to do, let me grab some product here. I'm going to go into my Dip Brow, and I usually just put mine like on the lid, just so I can kind of flatten the brush out while I'm getting it. I was doing it on the back of my hand, but this shit does not come off. So here I was all day long, every day, all day every day, with brown spots all over my hand from my Dip Brow. Because, I mean, soap and water, it's hard to get it off with soap and water, I'm telling you. This stuff don't go nowhere. So, only thing that sucks is, like, she has no colors. She goes from blonde to chocolate. Chocolate is like brown. So if you're somebody that likes a caramel color, you can maybe build the blonde up to that color, but yeah, she needs to come out with some more colors, basically. That's all I'm trying to say. So let's just get into it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look straight in my mirror. I'm going to start here, and I'm going to draw a line. I usually go to the inside of whatever utensil that I'm using. Some people go to the outside. If you have something really, really thin, like, I don't know, something really thin, like at work we use like little Q-tips, like the really long wooden Q-tips, and they're like super skinny, so you can do either side of that. It's just personal preference, really. So I'm going to start here and line up. Like I said, I go to the inside of my brush, and I'm going to make a line. This line is where my eyebrow, this line is where my eyebrow is going to start. The next line you want to do is the edge of your nose and through your pupil. On this part, I go to the outside of whatever utensil I'm using. So you're going to look straight in the mirror, go to the edge of your pupil, and draw another line. Not that that was the straightest line ever, but yeah, no. So let me hit the other side. Line. I need to get some more product here. Let me dip some more product. Through the pupil. Line. Usually I don't do this on a day-to-day basis, BT dubs. I will do this when I am plucking my brows or trying to shape them in any way. But yeah, I don't do this day to day. I usually just kind of follow the natural arch because that's kind of how I pluck them to this shape. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, it just kind of goes like that. If I had time to do this every day, though, I probably would, because then it would be... My desk is a mess. Sorry, there's crap everywhere. So if you hear stuff tumbling over, it's because I'm slob. That's why. All right, so the end one goes right... Let me get my bangs out of the way here. So you're going to go to the edge of your nose and the edge of your eye, and you're going to draw another line. Preferably one you can see. Let me grab some more product. So this is where my brow is going to end. Then basically all you do is connect the dots. It's up to you how thin or how thick you want your eyebrow to be. Me, lately I have been rocking a little bit thinner of a brow. But I'm not really sure that I like it, so please excuse my furry, like, you know, hairs everywhere, because I haven't really, like, super groomed them, just because I'm not sure if I want to go thicker or want to stay thinner. You know, third world problems here. So basically, all you're going to do is connect the dots. And I usually start from the bottom and make my way up. I don't put as much product here on the front, so that way I don't have like that strong front end where you, so that way you can kind of ombre it out and it looks a little bit more natural as it can look for not having any brows. So you're going to connect the fronts. And usually what I do, I don't sit and fill when I do this. I just kind of draw my shape down, and then I'll go back in and fill everything in. And then what you're going to do is go from the top and angle down. I am somebody that does not like when people's brows go up and then come down. I feel like that pulls your face down, it draws your eyes down. I usually go at more like, what is this, like a 45-degree angle or something? I usually go like this rather than going, you know. So right here, I could go straight down, but I go more out than down. I just prefer it that way. If you like your brows to go up and then come down, by all means, do that. And I don't put very much product on my brush when I do this because I'm just getting my outline down. And you need to remember that your brows are sisters, not twins. If you try to establish them as sisters, you will go freaking nuts trying to get your brows even. This eyebrow right here is way higher than this one, and I'm okay with that. And you should be too. Your eyebrows are never going to look the same. You're always going to have that one good brow, and then the other one's going to be shit, and you're going to sit there and work on it for a half an hour. That's just life. That's what we do. Also, this one, my left one, which would be like the right one to you guys, is a lot longer. So I try to start my arch a little further in, if that makes sense. When I fill, I usually do my tail end first. Sorry, my son's like yelling at the TV, like always. So I'll go ahead and start filling that tail in. And then what I'll do is round it out, because I don't really like a pointy brow. And then I will just kind of feather the color up to the front. And then I'll go in and brush that out later. And sometimes you screw up, and sometimes, you know, you gotta go back in. Usually I do end up having to go back in with concealer, and then what I'll do is just wipe off my guidelines here. I'll go back over that with concealer though. Hope you guys can see what the hell I'm doing. I use a lot of product in my brows. If you guys do not prefer to use a lot of product in your brows, don't. But I use a lot. The reason I use a lot is obviously because there's none there. So I want it to stay all day long. Another thing I will do if they're getting a little crazy like they are right now is go in with my Benefit Boing, and this teeny tiny concealer brush that I got in a Benefit kit, it is absolutely perfect for carving my brows out. I love this little dinky brush. I never used it before, and then one day all my brushes were dirty and I just grabbed it and I was like, oh my god, this is perfect. Oh my god, eyebrow crap on my stuff. So because this one is not cooperating, we're gonna go ahead and make him cooperate with concealer. So basically, do not be afraid to, if you don't have brows, don't be afraid to draw them in. Who gives a shit what people think about your tattooed brows or drawn in brows? Honestly, it's really on trend right now to have a super sharp defined brow, so those people can, like, you know, go get, yeah, no, I ain't gonna say it. Sorry about my attire. I just put self-tanner on, and I don't want to get my clothes all brown. So after I get the basic shape down and feather it in, what I will then do is go in with my Anastasia pencil and just kind of brush it through, but I only brush through the front. And then I'll take my finger and I'll wipe whatever's left off of that front part and just comb it through. Notice how my brows are uneven, but I'm okay with that. I am okay with that. And you need to be too. Do not drive yourself crazy sitting there for an hour trying to get your brows even though I'm about to do it right now. Then after I'm done filling, I'll just take my Benefit Gimme Brow and run that through it. I really, really suggest, if you're somebody like me that doesn't have a lot of brows hair, get the Gimme Brow. This is such a great product because all of those, even though you might not have any brows like on the outer portion of your eyes from over pluckage or whatever the reason is, this will grab every little hair and put color on every little hair. You have hair all over your face. It's just super fine hair that you can't really see, you know, like that little peach fuzz. That's all over. That's up in your brows too. So when you use this, it will adhere to that and make your brow look fuller. So even though, let me show you here. As I comb this through, forgot to take my guideline off, hold on. So you'll notice, like, as I comb that through, it actually looks like I do have some hair out here. When I tell people that my brows end about right here, hardly anybody believes me. Just because this product is balls amazing for making it look like you actually got some brows when you really don't. So then I'll go brush through the other side. And they're not perfect right now, but I'm not going to sit here and, you know, screw with them and make the video 3 hours long. So it is what it is. But yeah, so that's basically how you get your brows. If you don't have any, it's fairly easy to do if you don't know exactly like how wide or how thin you want them. What you can do is just grab a darker wax or a darker powder. You can even use like a black eyeshadow. It's gonna look crazy, but believe me, it works. You can use a black eyeshadow and kind of really draw in, like say you have a thicker brow and you're like, oh, maybe I want it to be a little bit thinner. Draw that over your eyebrow where your actual hair is. That way you can physically see what your eyebrows are going to look like before you take all that hair off. Make sure you get a good idea of what they're going to look like before you take that hair off, because once you take that hair off, there's no going back, girl. You're going to have to fill it in. You're going to have to color it in. Screw the people who say they don't like tattooed brows, because I guarantee if they didn't have any brows, they'd be doing the same damn thing. So anyways, I hope this helped you guys a little bit, maybe, even though my brows look cray right now. Well, I guess they don't look too bad. See, it's something that maybe you'll notice, but nobody else will notice, so who cares? At the end of the day, you gotta be happy with what you got, I guess. Yeah. So hopefully this helped you guys and was a little bit better quality than my last video. And I think that's it. So I will see you guys in my next vid. Bye-bye.